In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're going to talk about a comprehensive program that I just developed called the Nervous System Reset. This program is designed specifically to address anxiety and panic attacks and other stress-related disorders. So I'm going to go through what this program is about, and hopefully it will be something for those of you suffering with anxiety. This could be something that very, very beneficial. And as usual, giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit. The joke's on you. I'm going to do 102. Midnight. The city of Detroit. Detroit. Now, I don't think so. The place in Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. Michigan.
I go to school in Detroit.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist. Doing it all right. Originated in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. We have hypnotized thousands of people all over the United States. Doing it all right is featured on music. That's all across the country. And is the clinical director and outpatient mental health Detroit. Who did it with the power of hypnosis.
What is going on, my friends? It's David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We're back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast. I hope I have it's been a little bit. Schedules have conflicted. A couple of other we're here, hanging out. The Glacial Podcast Voice Actors. You do out on the Monday podcast, which is kind of our usual thing. What we do. So before we get into the episode, I want to start by telling you where you can find our website is motorcityhypnotist.com. You'll notice there's a change on the website. If you go there and look, there is a tab that you can click on that's called the Nervous System Reset. And that's what this episode is going to be focused on. So if you go there, you can learn more about it there, but I'm going to tell you about it here as well. So check it out when you have a moment. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok, all Motor City Hypno. And as usual, as we've done every episode going back to number one, text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you get a text from me. It will have links to my Google page. I would appreciate a review there. That would be fantastic. Here's another option for you. You can also text the word anxiety, AMXIETY. Text the word anxiety to 313-800-8510. You'll get a different text message that's going to direct you to information about the program that we're going to talk about in this episode. So you can do them both. You can text the word hypnosis and then right afterwards text the word anxiety to that same number. You get a different response. Each one will be the number. And again, whatever you're listening, whatever platform, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts, please leave a review there as well. That just helps us, to gain more audience and to get more people's eyes on the podcast, which is what we want. So yeah, I would appreciate you leaving a review. Again, I would greatly appreciate that, and thank you for that ahead of time. All right, it is time.
How winning is done.
All righty. So we're going to start out with a story from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. A powerful portion of the American dream was served by a Wendy's fast food restaurant in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, to help out one of its own.
Okay.
I'm going to butcher this name, so forgive me. Thales de Souza's story may have started in a treacherous neighborhood near Rio de Janeiro.
I got my hand up.
Yes. Yes, Matt.
Is it Phyllis?
Thales. Thales
Are you
de
sure?
Souza's. Thales.
Okay.
Could be Thales.
Thales.
Thales. Thales.
But
What kind of stupid wiener name is that?
Yeah, it could be pronounced a million ways.
What kind of stupid wiener name is that?
Phallus. Come on, man.
It is TH though.
Yes, that's fine.
Phallus. So Thales or Phallus or Phyllis or whatever. Anyway,
His parents hate him.
D'Souza's story may have started in a treacherous neighborhood near Rio de Janeiro,
Okay.
but his next chapter will be written at one of America's most prestigious universities.
Mm.
D'Souza, who's now 23, grew up in Brazil, living with a mother who had been on the streets at times after she lost both of her parents. Death, poverty, and despair were commonplace. As an adolescent, D'Souza was sleeping one night when gunfire erupted. His American dream began right then.
Mm.
I was just another statistic unlikely to make it, D'Souza stated on an Instagram video that captured the moment he got the good news.
Okay.
But God had the final word. In 2016, after nearly being killed in a shootout inside my own home, my mother decided to give up everything and come to the United States. D'Souza and his family made their way to Massachusetts, and he started working at a local Wendy's while in high school. He became a model employee, getting along well with fellow staff members and making an impression on the owners. He was promoted to shift manager as a high school senior.
Okay.
And then his bosses at Wendy's, here's another, here, I'm going to butcher these names,
Okay.
Usama El Sarawi
Okay.
and the late Ernest Smiley gave him an even better offer, vowing to pay his tuition at community college.
Oh, wow.
College to me was something really far from my reach, D'Souza said in the video below. It changed my whole perspective and it changed the way I saw life. I understood that someone was betting on me, so it was now my time to do my part. And that's what I did. The generosity that paved the way for D'Souza's college journey is a key ingredient at Wendy's since the company was founded by Dave Thomas.
Right.
Thomas was adopted as a child and made adoption a cornerstone of his philanthropy. That's definitely Wendy's culture, Terry Smiley, Ernest's son, said about the generous scholarship. We really live by Dave Thomas's values. Dave always said, give something back. The immigrant excelled at Cape Cod Community College and kept pushing himself toward bigger things. After 3 years, he applied to a more prestigious schools. And this May, he got accepted into Yale.
Wow.
With a full ride scholarship that will cover his entire tuition. His path and his life have changed dramatically in just 4 years, and he couldn't wait to thank the families who gave him a chance. At the time, I had no idea how much that opportunity would change my life. Thank you for believing in me. Your generosity opened the door that changed my life, and I will always be grateful. Sometimes all it takes is one person who believes in you. I'm living proof of that. He starts this fall at Yale with a major in political science and a minor in human rights, hoping to become an attorney.
Okay.
The American dream that once seemed a whole world away is now within reach. Where you come from does not determine where you can go, he says. Sometimes the most impossible journeys take us to places we never imagined reaching.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this young kid, he's got a lot of insight and knowledge just based on his statements. And that's probably a reason he's so successful. I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, coming from, again, you know, we see these stories of immigrants a lot. They come from these very dangerous places, and they just want something better for their lives. So to Wendy's, I mean, again, I didn't realize Wendy's had this culture as far as like education and all of that.
Yeah, all the fast food places kind of do have that that culture behind it where
Mhm.
start working here, you can have a career here, we're going to help
Yep.
pay for your education here,
Yep.
stick with us,
Yep.
and you never know what's going to happen, right?
Right. Yep. Absolutely. So anyway, great story. Definitely winner of the week.
Good stuff.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
Hey, Phallus, how's
So,
that
Phallus.
meat coming?
What kind of stupid wiener name is that?
No! No! Don't shut me up!
I tell you. So you got some pretty exciting stuff going on. I would love
I
for you.
do.
I'd love it. There was, and I'm going to be honest with you and with everybody. There, it was kind of hard to hear you at the very beginning because another button wasn't clicked.
Oh no. Okay.
So there's something new going on at your practice.
Yes.
And you're starting a new program.
Yes.
Share with us
Okay.
what that is.
Okay, so let me tell you how I got to this, because I think the purpose is almost as important as what I'm offering.
Got it.
So I've been in practice for it'll be 33 years this year.
Yes.
I'm a licensed therapist. I'm a certified hypnotherapist.
Mhm,
So I see people in my office, and we do therapy and we do hypnosis, and we work on a lot of things. A majority of my clients over the years have suffered with anxiety and panic disorders.
Mhm, mhm.
And I got to thinking, and this has just been within, so very long story short. And if you've listened to the podcast, you've probably heard my story about 6 months ago that we got hit with a huge insurance recoup,
Yeah.
over $100,000,
Mhm, mhm.
which in essence kind of crippled our clinic. And we're still trying to recover and get out of that.
It's crazy.
So in my head, I thought to myself, why we are victims to these insurance companies,
Mhm.
and whether they pay and what they recoup and what they approve and what they dictate we should treat, because that happens too. A lot of times they'll deny claims because they said, well, the approach didn't match what it's all that kind of nonsense. So I thought there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a way to get to people and help them with their issues without spending an hour a week on the couch. Now, I'm not criticizing therapy in any form or fashion. I think it's a very important thing for many people.
Mhm.
But I thought, why take that 1 hour a week when we can fix it in a matter of a couple of months? So I thought there's got to be a more direct and quicker way to get this done.
Okay.
So I thought in my
you
head-
said the word fix, but go on.
Yes. So I thought in my head, why don't I just do a program? Why don't I do like an 8 or 12 week program focused specifically on an issue? In this instance, anxiety and panic.
Mhm.
And I make this program available online
Mhm.
so that people can access it and get and work through it. So it's not simply a course. It's not simply a program, because if those of you, and many of you out there may have purchased courses online.
Mhm.
There are a lot of sites that promote it. Schooly is one. There are a lot of different ones, but this goes beyond a course, because what we're doing is we're retraining your subconscious thinking patterns, and that's where anxiety exists. It's a pattern that's built up over time, and we're going to get into the specifics of it. But I thought, let's get a program, make it 8 or 12 weeks, get people into this so that they can get relief much quicker than spending a whole 3 or 4 years on the couch.
An hour at a time.
Yeah. And I break it down this way. And this is what really kind of like told me in my head, I have to do something different. Let's say that somebody comes to therapy weekly. I see clients weekly or bi-weekly. Let's say you come every week, and let's say in a year you attend 40 sessions. That's fair with like vacations, time off, missed appointments, whatever. So in essence, you've spent 40 hours. You've spent one work week of an entire year working on your mental health.
Doesn't sound like a lot, does it?
It doesn't.
No.
And I'm not taking into account anything that you did at home to kind of
Right.
follow up. I'm just talking about face to face. And I thought that's if somebody said to me, okay, we're going to work on a problem and we're going to just spend 1 week out of the entire year and try to resolve this. That doesn't make sense in my head.
No.
So that's why I said, okay, I'm going to put a program together. So
What's it called?
what we put together is the Nervous System Reset Program. So we're going to get into the details, because what I want to do is share with the listeners that this might be something that could benefit you if you deal with anxiety or panic or other stress related disorders.
Fair enough.
So really, the whole title is the nervous system reset. And the whole idea behind this is that we want to retrain your thinking. We want to retrain your subconscious mind to get out of this pattern. So let me tell you who this is for. This is probably for any capable, driven adult. Maybe you're a business owner stressed like I am with payroll and managing your business. Maybe you're a professional in the corporate world that's under this constant pressure to perform and to deliver. Maybe you're a parent that's trying to manage 3 or 4 children and schedules and all of that. All of these things can cause chronic anxiety and panic. And a lot of people have this and deal with this, but nobody knows it because they just keep working through it. And here's the thing with anxiety and panic. I'm gonna personalize it a little bit, because anxiety and panic wants to reclaim every place, person, and possibility fear has quietly fenced off. That's what anxiety does. Even if you've already tried therapy, as I've mentioned, maybe you've taken medication, maybe you've tried calming apps, maybe you've tried some self-help books. And again, I'm not criticizing any of those things.
Okay.
But maybe that's not enough. Maybe we need to have a more focused approach on this. So I'll give you some examples of people with anxiety based on clients that I've seen over the last 33 years. Here's an example. You cancel plans and you tell yourself, that's just my preference. I don't feel like going out tonight. In reality, you're canceling because you're afraid of what will happen if you do go out. You're afraid of having anxiety or having a panic attack. And then you frame it in your mind that, well, it's just my preference. I just like to be a homebody. When in reality, that might not be the case. You just don't want to have this experience in public.
And the outside looking in, they'd probably like, oh, they're suffering from depression. They probably have no idea about the anxiety side. They're just making it much broader with depression.
Well, right? and that's the whole thing with a lot of anxiety and depressive symptoms. Most people don't know somebody's struggling because we can mask it so well. Mm-hmm. We can go through our day and it's that internal battle. It's that internal struggle. Mm-hmm. So this program, and again, I'm making a bold promise that in 90 days, you can have this nervous system regulated. So what I'm going to share with you is how to go a full week to start with without having a single panic attack. I'm going to tell you the real reason your panic keeps coming out of seemingly nowhere.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to you about why learning to manage your anxiety is the worst possible way to address it.
Could you repeat that?
I'm going to tell you why learning to manage your anxiety is the worst possible way to treat it.
That's
very counterintuitive. I know. and
it's not balanced.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that because that statement it has more power than most of the other stuff I'm going to tell you about.
That's why my head cocked to the side going,
I know.
Wait, what?
Yep.
All right, go on.
We're going to talk about how to pinpoint your own nervous system and what it's trying to protect you from, if anything. And really, this program, what I designed it, I want people to grow from a life that's shrinking constantly to a life that's growing. Somebody that can go out and say yes to the trip, yes to hanging out with friends, yes to going to dinner in a crowded restaurant. And here's the other big thing. I'm going to teach you to do all this without having to relive every trauma, every painful memory, endless coping strategies, because that really doesn't resolve anything. That just brings up the feelings from a long time ago. And we already know what the pattern is. We just need to retrain the pattern.
So is this for teenagers on through seniors?
I would say, at any stage in life, probably I would say later adolescence, just because there's a lot of there's a lot of work and exercises throughout the program as far as reflection exercises or worksheets or evaluations. So yeah, somebody who's an older adolescent could probably do well.
Or their brain has actually, formatted itself properly, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So what this program entails, well, before we get into the details, let me identify those of you who might be who might benefit from this.
Okay.
Let me ask you some questions. Do you run a mental body scan the first thing you wake up, checking your chest, checking your breathing, and just determining if today is going to be a bad anxiety day? I've had a lot of clients, they wake up and they already feel it. They already know, oh, this is going to be a bad day.
Wow.
Have you quietly built an invisible rule book for your life? We just mentioned a moment ago, avoiding places or things. Again, the highways you won't drive, the restaurants where the exit's too far from the door, the plans you cancel last minute because you just can't get yourself to go out.
Huh. Okay.
Do you sit across from someone you love, like somebody like a partner or kids or relatives or friends, and feel completely alone because they have no idea what's going on inside your head, in your body?
Go on.
Because again, you're masking it very well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And again, these are other things people do, and these are real examples from clients. Do you rehearse an escape route the second you get anywhere to know where to go if I need to leave? Do you lie awake Googling your symptoms, half convinced physiologically something is wrong with you?
Right.
And have you started calling yourself like a homebody when the truth is that it's not that you don't want to go out, you're just, again, afraid of what's going to happen if you do?
Go on.
That is. And here's the other thing. Are you secretly terrified that this is who you'll always be, that you're doomed to have anxiety and panic for the rest of your life? If that's the way you feel, I have good news, because this is something that can help. And none of the things we just spoke of are the real problem. You know what the real problem is?
What's the real problem, David?
People haven't made the shifts. And we're going to get into what those are. But these are important in recovery, especially when we're working on a specific issue. So once you make these shifts, you're going to wake up and not even realize that you're not thinking about anxiety. You're going to feel a sense of quiet, ordinary. You'll drive on roads that used to scare you and not even think about it. You'll sit in a full crowd of dinner or talking to people, not aware of any kind of anxiety or stress. And once you say yes to these shifts, it's just something changes. And you do all this and you get your life back. Your spouse gets their partner back. Your kids get their parent back. So all of these things are super important. Now, part of this program is an introduction by myself, but if you listen to the podcast, you kind of know me. I don't need to sell myself, quote unquote, but I will say that over my 33 years in practice, I've dealt with thousands of clients dealing with anxiety. So I'm going to show you exactly how I help them and how you can be helped also.
Okay. Help me. So
I realized there are 5 very specific things. And let me back up a little bit, because I want to read this, because I wrote this specifically to capture this.
Okay. There's 5 things, but This is number 1.
This is just the introduction.
Oh, got it.
I've worked with people to break free from anxiety and panic. In that time, I saw something that fascinated me. I saw people who had an incredible recovery. They went from housebound to boarding planes, from dreading the grocery store to shopping in a calm manner. Meanwhile, I have a lot of other clients who stayed trapped into this shrinking world. These are good, smart, deserving people. Here's the difference. There are 5 very specific things that made the people who were successful to the people who weren't. And we're going to get into those. Shift number 1, get curious, not calm. Now, when I say that, the first shift you need to make is to start feeling safe in your own body again. And we're going to get into the scientific thing of why panic and anxiety happens in the brain. But the first shift is you need to start feeling safe. So get curious and not calm. When I say that, curiosity is you have to be curious about what is happening to you. Because typically, once anxiety hits, it's total defense mode, fight, struggle, try to get through it, just survive. But when we get curious, when we stop fighting it and we say to ourselves, okay, what is my body telling me right now? Why am I having these feelings? You know, if your only goal is to make it stop, you're going to flee, you're going to distract, you're going to brace, you're going to fight. And here's the thing that happens when you do this. Every time you do that, you reinforce the cycle. Every time you have a panic attack and you fight through it and you're trying to breathe and you're trying to make it stop, or you leave or you run away, you're just reinforcing the cycle that's going to happen over and over again. But when you turn towards it instead of from away from it, that's a totally different mindset. And what I'm saying is the alarm that's going off in your head loses its charge because you're coming at it with curiosity. You're not fighting it. And here's the thing, curiosity and fear cannot live in the body at the same time.
Sure.
So you become curious about what you're feeling. So let's get into the wrong way. And because I mentioned this is the right way. The wrong way is most people, when they feel anxiety and panic and feel that fear, they feel like they're hopelessly broken. They feel like that's something that's just what their brain does and there's no hope for it. Because every anxiety sufferers are at war every day with their own nervous system, fighting the feeling, just suppressing it, distracting from it, white knuckling until it passes, and then dreading the next time. And that fear just makes it more likely that another episode is going to happen. So when you do the things this way, your brain has one message on repeat. That sensation was dangerous and I barely survived it. That is the message you're giving your brain.
Barely surviving it.
Yes. You reinforce the very alarm you're desperate to shut off.
You're hitting the snooze button?
Yep. You're just and the panic gets louder, it doesn't get softer. And that's what happens. So I'm going to tell you about what is the right way to do it in our next episode.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just sitting here. I'm just listening intently to what you have to say here.
And there's a lot of stuff here, and I want to make sure I give each section their proper due. So okay. I don't want to skim through a lot of this, but we're going to start the next episode, episode 2 of the nervous system reset, with the right way to handle anxiety and panic. And we're going to get into a lot more of the scientific explanations of what's happening.
Sure.
Cool.
Oh,
before we go.
Oh, okay.
Somebody needs a home.
Who is it? Oh, let me get you on. Yep. Okay, who would be?
Oh, what'd I do with it?
Oh no, I didn't see it in there. It's got to be buried in there somewhere.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
I got it.
Like I said,
I got it.
Buried.
It's buried. All right. Lucky needs a home.
Oh, come on. Look at that.
There's Lucky.
Looks like Spud McKenzie almost.
Doesn't he? I thought the same thing.
It's a border collie?
So he is a border collie and American Staffordshire Terrier mix.
Wow.
He's a female. She's a female, 3 years old. She'll be about, they estimated between 26 to 60 pounds. So medium size.
It's a bigger puppy.
And she's good with kids and dogs.
All right.
Taylor Animal Shelter. Lucky needs a home.
Look at her.
She needs to be adopted.
She's beautiful. She really is beautiful.
Just do a search for TaylorAnimalShelter.com and you will see Lucky on their site ready for adoption.
Very cool. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty, folks, those of you on Facebook Live, let's stick around. We're going to do another episode. Those of you listening to the audio, jump ahead one episode. If it's not there, it will be in the next Tuesday or Thursday.
Yep.
All right. Alrighty, folks. Change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.
Ready?
this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we are back with the Nervous System Reset Part 2. So we're talking about a program that I developed to address anxiety and panic and other stress-related disorders. We did do episode 1. If you've not listened to that one, you can jump back and listen, or you can catch up with that one after you're done with this one. But either way, we're going to get into some very specific things about this program that is available now that I think can be very, very helpful for those of you struggling with anxiety and panic attacks. And as usual, we give away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown.
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis.
Ding! Bing!
Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? It is David R. Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Hello, David, and I got a question for you.
Yes, Matt Fox, that is the other voice you hear.
I've never asked you this question in our entire friendship.
Really?
What does the R stand for?
Raymond.
Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yep. After my grandfather, both my brother and I have middle names for each of our grandfathers.
Love that.
Raymond and Wesley. Yeah.
Wesley. My middle name, after my grandfather, Warren.
Warren. Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little older, like a throwback kind of one.
Yeah, you
like
don't
Raymond and Wesley. Yeah.
You don't hear Raymond or Wesley very often.
Not really. No.
Not since
not at all.
That's a Gen Xers.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we're here in the Podcast Your Voice Southfield Studios, hanging out, having a drink, doing a podcast, and giving people learning.
Giving
them
learning?
Information. Yep.
So what do you think of this bottle?
I'm very important. Many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Oh. Yeah, so speaking of rich mahogany, what do you think of this barrel, this pick that I brought in?
I'm liking it.
The Dragon Milk.
Origin Honey Barrel.
Mm-hmm. It's a small batch.
Yep. I like it. I'm enjoying it, Matt. That's a good pick.
Yeah, that's we were in Grand Rapids.
Nice.
And we stopped by New Holland, and we had dinner there, and they had a shop.
Nice.
And they had a lot of bottles on the wall. And my partner's older brother and I walked in there, and they had the honey and the regular, and we tasted them both, and I almost went regular.
Yeah.
But then I tasted the honey, and I'm like, you know what? It's summertime. Feels sweeter.
A little lighter.
It's 118 proof.
Yeah.
But it doesn't drink like it.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's really good. I'm enjoying it.
So this is how I treat my anxiety.
Which many people do. So let me tell you folks where you can find me first before we get into the meat of the podcast. My website, motorcityhypnotist.com. On that website, as I mentioned last episode, you're going to see a new tab, and it is called the Nervous System Reset. If you click into that, it's going to give you all the information about the program, where to sign up, to get your free consultation call. So here's what I'm doing. I'm releasing this program, and what I'm doing is I'm setting up what we call a free discovery call, where I'm going to spend 30 to 45 minutes with you on the phone to see if this program is a fit for you.
Okay.
See if it's something that would be helpful.
Or would regular, or like sitting down for an hour at a time. Yeah.
or maybe somebody might come to me. They might click in and they might inquire, and I might talk to them, and they might say, you know what, on average, my anxiety is like a 2 out of 10. You know, it's really not affecting my day to day. And
Sure.
in that case, I would be like, I'm really looking for people who are struggling, who really need the help.
100%.
And not that I wouldn't let that person have the program if they wanted to,
Sure.
but the whole point of it is I want to find out where you're at and how this can help, if it can help. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I talk to you and I feel like this is not a fit, I'm going to tell you that as well.
Sure. Because there are so many resources out there. This is an additional resource for folks that really have struggled with the anxiety portion of it, and they're not quite sure how to regulate, or they're doing the same thing day to day. They're waking up having that thought of, oh, today's going to be a bad day. That's where this program could come in.
Absolutely.
But folks that are calling in to learn more, this is just a resource, but because you have so many other resources available to yourself to provide.
And this one, and again, I'm going to get into the course itself as we move through the podcast, but I will say this course is focused on retraining your mind. Now, when I say that sounds simple and cliche, but the point is that anxiety doesn't live in your conscious mind. You don't try it. You don't say to yourself, I'm going to feel anxious right now. It happens. And it happens when your amygdala starts firing for no reason. It dumps all the stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline into your system. And that's what gives you that physical sensation of dread, of that pit in the stomach, of the racing heart, the sweats, the dizziness.
Not the medulla oblongata?
Yeah. But the amygdala is firing because it feels like you're in danger. And that's where it's stuck. And that's the signal that we're going to retrain through the program.
In your nervous system.
Yes, absolutely. My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotists. Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno, HYPNO.
Yep.
And as usual, we've done every episode going back to number 1. Text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. Within a few moments, you'll receive a text message from me, and it will give a Google link to my business page where you can leave a review, and that would be greatly appreciated. Additionally, if you are someone who struggles with anxiety and panic or other stress-related disorders, text the word anxiety to 313-800-8510. You're also going to get a text message, a little bit different one, but it's going to give you a link to the program and its description, and see if that might be something that could be useful for you.
You know what I get anxious about, David?
What's that?
Anytime I'm listening to the radio, it happens. And the song Somebody That I Used to Know comes on. Or you think it is that song, but it's actually the song Anxiety. That makes me anxious.
Okay.
Because I'm old school.
Yeah.
I like the original. Here we are.
Yeah. And that can throw you off.
It throws me off all the time.
Absolutely. All righty. It is time.
That's how winning is done.
All right. Give me a winner.
All righty. Jason Burns surprised his girlfriend, Emma Kessler, training for months so he could run with her. As Emma Kessler headed to her first half marathon, her boyfriend's running shoes were in the trunk, and a surprise was in the works.
Okay.
Kessler, a 22-year-old, had been anxious for weeks. Running 13 miles is no easy task, especially for a rookie.
13.2 miles.
Emma kept looking for a running partner as race day approached, someone to help boost her pace and her confidence during the Rockin' Riverfest half marathon in St. Charles, Missouri.
Okay.
She kept badgering her boyfriend, Jason Burns, but in conversations, Jason never wavered in his response. No, I can't. I'm sorry. Behind the scenes, though, Jason was planning something big. He was a competitive power lifter, and Emma had a perfect attendance at his events. This was his chance to return the support.
Okay.
Ever since we met, she's been to every one of my competitions and supported me no matter how far away they were or how much they cost, Jason told USA Today.
Oh, man.
I didn't really think it's fair if I sit on the side of the course and only see her for 30 seconds during the 2-hour race. So I decided it didn't matter how I felt on the day. If she was going to run, I was going to run with her. Making it all happen would take some training and some deception, though. Jason ran in secret for 2 months leading up to race day. He completed the registration unbeknownst to Emma. And as they hopped in the car on the way to the race, Jason made sure to sneak his running shoes in the car.
Okay.
I knew she'd be relieved knowing she didn't have to run alone because I watched her anxiety about the race increase every week we got closer to the actual race day.
Okay.
Now, the only thing left to do was announce the surprise, so Jason told Emma he had something in the trunk. What? Emma said in a video of the moment. You're making me nervous. What? The suspense was replaced by happy tears when she saw the running shoes in the car. She said, "No, you're lying. Are you really doing it?" Emma asked about the race.
You're a power lifter.
Jason
What the hell?
even had a printed copy of a text message Emma sent a while back saying, "I wish you'd run a half marathon with me." The wish came true, and Jason confessed to his secret. "I've been running every weekend since the last race you ran. I feel so much better," Emma said. The anxiety was gone. Speaking of anxiety, the next parts of the video show Emma and Jason running next to each other at mile 4.6, then again at about 9.75.
Okay.
9.75. Finally, there's a video after the race. Emma and Jason both wearing medals around their necks. How do you feel? Jason asks. Way better now that we're done, Emma jokes. The couple had crossed the finish line together after 2 hours and 29 minutes on the course.
Wow, good for them.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, he said he trained for 2 months just running every weekend, getting ready for a half marathon. That's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot. I mean,
isn't.
because I mean, when you're long distance training, it's got to be a daily regimen.
It's got to be an every other day. You have to give your body the rest.
Right.
But good for him for, the deception.
Supporting her in a fun way.
Yeah. But just come out and say, let's do this together and then enjoy that ride. And then you don't have to be deceptive about it. But I'm glad he did it. But come on, man.
Yes. Yes, I get it.
Winner.
Yes.
He's definitely a winner for supporting his girl.
Definitely winner of the week for doing it and kind of giving her a surprise
Especially as a power lifter.
Yeah, right.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
So, back to it.
I know you want to get into this.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I need to share the story with you from what we did back in June.
Yep.
Because it's August right now. And people listen whenever, however.
Sure. Yeah.
But back in June, as you probably remember, I ran the Tough Mudder.
You did.
For the second time.
You did.
And there were a group of us. And we had a group of spots of 16 people. We only had 15. When we were standing in line, getting ready to do this race, a friend of the younger folks that were with us, one of their friends decided to come and support them. And they said to this young man, "Hey, we have an extra spot if you want to join us." And this cat was in combat boots, Doc Martin combat boots, a tank top, and longer pants. And he said to his friends, "Find me a pair of shoes and a pair of shorts and I'll do it."
Oh,
no training, no nothing, no prep, no nothing for the Tough Mudder. So they found him a pair of shoes. They bought him a pair of shorts at the store that was right there on site. And this young man, he's 21, 22 years old, decided to join us. So he's got a bunch of 50-sums and all the way down to early 20-sums.
Right.
So the race starts and we're going along and we get separated because people are in a different abilities.
Yep.
I catch up to one of the older sums and he and I ended up buddying up.
Yeah.
And we're at mile 5.5. And then we run into this young cat at about 6.5 miles. And he had found a group of firefighters that were bringing him along because the younger folks that he was with left him behind because he was slowing them down.
Oh.
We catch up to this young man and we put him on our shoulders and we start bringing him along with the two older guys. We're at mile 7.5 going into 8. And he is like, I can't, I'm done. I can't do this. My leg is bothering me so much. We're like, dude, you stop. You're done. we pulled him along. We gave him 30 seconds to rest.
Yeah.
And we kept pulling him along. We're doing obstacles, we're running, we're walking, we're running. I come to find out this young man had broken his left leg.
Oh my gosh.
Less than a year ago. And he decides to run the Tough Mudder. And it's the 15K. All right. So we're not talking, small miles. We ran 10.2 miles that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
With obstacles. And we dragged this young man across the finish line, and he did the obstacles. We skipped a couple because you know what? We don't need to crawl on our hands and knees through 3 inches of mud.
Yeah, right.
For 10 feet.
Sure.
Just let me go. All right.
Right.
But we finished.
Nice.
And we dragged him across the finish line. He was so proud of himo.
Oh
David.
my gosh, yeah.
But no prep with a broken leg left in a year.
That's insane. That's
But the 50-some-year-olds are like, come on, man, you can do this. We were just pushing him along. And that's the whole point of why we do that event is just to
it's
support one another.
It's getting everybody through.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
And everybody was anxious about it.
Yeah, I would think so. You would be going to a race like that.
That morning, you can tell who had prepped and who really hadn't put the work in. But you know what? We did it. And we had a good time.
And that's the important thing.
And then we all got we all got ibuprofen and booze afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect.
So
perfect recovery.
Yes. So yes, we were anxious going into it, but I'm super excited about this program that you have going about the anxiety and how and these proper ways to work through these things within a shorter period of time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Within 3 months, let's say.
Okay.
So we ended the last episode. And again, if you haven't listened to that one, you can do it after or catch up either way. But we talked about the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
We're going to start today with the right way.
Got it.
So here's the thing. When you experience anxiety and panic, the right way is to become a scientist of your own experience.
You mentioned we're going to get into the scientific part of it. Okay.
So instead of running from the racing heart and the tight chest, you get curious about it. You're going to notice it. I want you to even name it, study it, and ask, what is my nervous system trying to protect me from right now?
Cardiac
That's
arrest.
the question. Now, this isn't positive thinking, and it isn't pretending. It's the single most, and I mentioned this in part one, but it's the single most counterintuitive truth in anxiety recovery. The sensations you're fighting are not dangerous. They're information. And that one, I want you to hold on to that. I'm going to say that again. The sensations you've been fighting are not dangerous. They're information. The moment you stop treating your body as an enemy and start treating it as an overprotective alarm system, the fear will begin to dissolve with it. And when you do this, you're going to feel the alarm quiet, not because you forced it down, because you stopped feeding it. Yep. So here's the bottom line. We talked about curiosity, turning into it instead of fighting it, instead of running away from it. Get curious with it. Let the sensations, feel them and say, okay, my body is doing this, but look around. I'm safe right now.
Run to the danger instead of from it?
Yep. Or just face it. Just stay with it.
Yeah.
Instead of fighting it, just say, hey, listen. And this will come with training too, because at some point, your brain's just going to start saying, well, I'm not getting the reaction anymore. This alarm's not working.
It's the same thing with our dreams, right? In our dreams, we take control and we have the control in our dreams. We're not falling, we're flying.
So that was the first shift. Be curious, not calm. Second shift, it's not a character flaw. There's nothing wrong with you. This is a learned alarm.
This is brain chemistry.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely it is. It's not a flaw. It's an alarm. And here's the thing that and again, I would almost guarantee no one has said this to people who suffer with anxiety. It's not a weakness. It's not a flaw.
No.
It's not a life sentence. It's not proof that something is wrong from you. What it is, it's a learned protective response. It's a nervous system that got trained through experience to read safe as dangerous.
That was going to be, when was this behavior learned? And
it could have been learned from childhood.
Right. And that's why
it could have been learned into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes what could happen is that you might have a traumatic event. Let's say, I'll give you a generic example, but something that really has happened to clients of mine. They almost get in an accident on the roads.
Well, let's say they get into an accident.
Or they get into an accident.
And somebody passes away because in that accident.
Yeah, right. So that would be, in essence, that would be a form of post-traumatic stress disorder.
Okay.
Because you're responding to an incident that happened.
Okay.
But here's also the thing. Does it make a difference if let's take that example, Matt, and say, does it make a difference if it happened 10 years ago or a month ago? No,
I don't think it does.
It shouldn't, but it does.
Okay.
Because again, when we're in this anxious state, I'm probably gonna skip ahead a little bit because it's right here. Your brain is firing that dangerous. It's going off like you're in danger.
Okay.
So, but what happens when the amygdala releases all of that, all those cortisol and the adrenaline?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, there is no rational thinking, and what happens is your prefrontal cortex, which is your time part of your mind.
Okay.
It's the part of your mind that differentiates between present and past. That becomes affected. And now your prefrontal cortex is treating events that happened 10 years ago like they're happening right now.
Right. It's bringing them.
You're bringing it right back to the current. And
right back to the present.
And what that does, it causes you to relive these traumatic events over and over again.
So then what happens with time travel?
Oh, great Odin's raven.
Because we know it's real.
What in blazes are you talking about?
And if things change in the past, how is that going to change your brain chemistry in the present? Come on, it's Thanos. Come on, it's Thanos.
Your past. Well, I'm gonna go the lost explanation and say we're in the past, but the past is your present, which means it doesn't matter what happened before or after because this is your present, even if you're in the past. Anyway,
but it's Thanos.
Yeah, I know. So again, the racing heart in a grocery store isn't your brain malfunctioning. It's your brain doing its number one job to keep you alive. That is the point. But here's the hopeful part, and here's where the whole thing starts to change. Because people think I'm stuck with this. Here's the part, and it changes everything. I'm serious.
Go for it.
What was learned can be retrained, just like anything else. If you had a lesson in school when you were, I don't know, let's say 14, and somebody gave you wrong information and you went on believing that the rest of your life.
About the Pythagorean theorem?
Yeah, something crazy.
Yeah.
But eventually you learn the truth and you're like, why was I holding on to that for so long?
Right.
That wasn't even true. So here's how to make the shift on this one.
Okay.
Keep this statement in your mind. It's not a flaw, it's an alarm.
Yes.
So instead of asking what's wrong with me, a question that keeps you feeling broken and powerless, you start treating the spike of panic or anxiety as a false alarm, an overprotective alarm system. And you can answer it with proof of safety. That's when you evaluate. I'm having these feelings. Where am I right now? So for example, I have a client who says she has super bad anxiety when she goes to sleep at night. And I focused in on that, and I'm like, well, why do you think that's triggering? And I will say again, from a therapist's point of view,
it's very
bedtime is typically the time our minds mess with us the most.
But it's very pinpointed that your client said that at bedtime I feel the most anxious.
Yep. Well, because when we go to bed, that's typically our time to just kind of fall into thought. And if our thoughts are anxious, it's just going to start building on itself.
But you already had a long day. Why prolong it?
Well, you don't want to. That's the problem.
Okay.
Your brain is sounding the alarm. It doesn't care. Your brain thinks you're in danger, even though you're lying in bed perfectly safe.
Yeah.
And that's this dichotomy. This is this thing that we're working towards. Is to retrain that alarm to say, I don't need to alarm. I don't need to go off right now because everything's fine. Everything's safe.
I'm going to put that myself. I do find myself thinking more when I am laying down. The ringing in my ears keeps me awake.
Right. Yep.
That can be a part of the anxiety as well.
Could be.
Where you have tinnitus or what have you. It could be your
Sure.
sinuses doing shit to
Sure.
you. But I'm learning that I'm safe.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's the big thing.
Mhm.
And that alarm system, again, it's stuck and on.
Mhm.
Just like our switch on the board before we started here, Matt.
I don't know what you're I don't know what you're talking about.
No! Don't shut me
I have
up!
no idea.
So and again, in that it's not a flaw, it's an alarm.
Yeah.
That's what we have to hold on to. So I'm going to give you a couple of just a couple of real life examples of clients. Of course, no names because for confidentiality reasons.
Of course.
A client came to me and she actually owned a business. So she was a responsible,
Entrepreneur,
functional adult,
self-employed,
and she hadn't driven on the freeway in over 3 years.
Okay.
She was dealing with panic so constant, she stopped even like leaving her area of the city. And really, she told me, she just goes, I just want to feel normal again. And she'd wasted, I'm not kidding, probably, I couldn't even tell you how much money going to doctor appointments and the neurologist and the cardiologist, because she thought physically or physiologically something was wrong with her.
Because she wouldn't drive on freeways?
Just because she felt so much of these physical overwhelming symptoms. She thought she had a heart issue. She thought she might be having a stroke.
When driving on the freeways or because they didn't want to drive on the freeways?
Either way, whenever she was feeling that sense of anxiety and panic.
Interesting.
Yep, absolutely. So none of it worked, of course. None of the things she tried works because it wasn't a physical problem.
No.
It was an anxiety problem.
It was brain chemistry.
So I told her, stop trying to fix it and start treating it as a false alarm. That's that self-talk that you have to give yourself. And she was kind of like, that's kind of simplistic. That's not going to work. I'm like, no, listen, what we're doing here is you're reinforcing new neural pathways in your brain.
Right.
Every time you tell yourself this is a false alarm, your brain has an opportunity to process that, evaluate it, and make a determination. And the more you do it, the more you're going to create these positive neural pathways to say, I'm safe. I don't need to have these feelings.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
How many of your patients in your 33 years of practice have had a stroke?
I don't know of any. Honestly.
Because people that have had a stroke, part of their brain dies.
Yes.
And to learn to speak, to learn how to move their body, their arms, their legs, and control the muscles in their face and everything, it's their brain learning, creating new
neural pathways.
Correct.
Well, and I'll give you another great example, Matt. That's a great one. When I was in grad school, I was working with traumatic brain injured clients.
Okay.
Who had an injury, a car crash or something, but they had cognitive deficits because of the brain injury. And a lot of them had what we call aphasia. And aphasia is unable to place a word with an object.
Yes.
So I can look at this and say, this is whiskey, but if I had a head injury, I might see this and say,
that's a ball.
This is a chair.
Right.
And I have to create a new path to get, because I know what it is. I I know it, but I can't say it. It's not connecting. So I have to create a new path to get to bottle of whiskey.
And this is the nervous system, part of the nervous system. It's creating that brain neural pathway to say it's not a fault.
Right.
It's a false alarm.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
You have to hit your brain into that thinking. So I'm really intrigued about this program that you have written, that you've created, that you're helping your clients with.
So to finish up on shift 2, here's the bottom line. You are not broken. Your alarm is simply miscalibrated. That is the truth. And this is the single thing anxiety sufferers almost never grasp, because most treatments, and again, I'm going to be honest, most treatments are like, oh, how are you feeling? Let's do some deep breathing. Let's do some mindfulness. And these things are effective, but it doesn't resolve the underlying long-term issue. It just treats the symptoms.
And to go back to the first episode 1 of
Yes.
of this program,
Yep.
you said the word fix.
Yep.
And when people hear the word fix, they feel, what do you do when you fix something? Because it's broken.
Right.
But
correct.
you're not broken.
Correct. Yes. And I will acknowledge that. Fix is probably not a great, that's probably not the correct term. Moderate or improve.
Recalibrate.
Would be recalibrate. That's probably the best one.
Yeah.
And that really is what is happening. So folks, I have a ton of information on this, and I want you to get all the information on this. So we're going to sometimes we have four episodes for
sometimes,
topic matter.
yeah, it happens.
But this is good because the next shift, and I'm going to tease this, shift 3 is to use the secret weapon.
Which is? Oh, we'll
Find out in episode 3.
You jerk.
That's the way it works, man. Leave them wanting more.
Especially
so
me.
we are going to start the next episode with shift number 3, which is called Use the Secret Weapon.
All right. Secret weapon it is.
All right. Before we go,
yes.
Somebody needs a home.
Who dat? So, football season's coming. Who dat?
Delani. Delani needs a home.
She was at oh, she's adorable.
Yeah,
look at her her ears and
yes.
All right, her tail is the most adorable part of this
right.
dog. Look at the tail is a little curved. It's a little smaller than the rest of her body.
It is.
That's adorable.
So Delani is a black mouth cur, which I've never heard of, and a Labrador.
Okay, I see the lab in the ears.
Yep. She's female. She's a puppy. So, and she'll be about medium size, 50 to 60 pounds.
It's the lab size. Yeah.
But Dylan needs a home.
Delani.
Sorry. Yeah. Delani. I said her name wrong.
Blackmouth cur. Well, she's got
Taylor animalshelter.com. She's up for adoption.
Yes, please do that.
Yes, it is female. I just want to make sure I said she. She is up for adoption.
She's cute.
Delani needs a home. All right. TaylorAnimalShelter.com.
Do it.
Yeah. All righty, folks. That is our episode for today. We will be back next week, and we're going to continue on with the Reset Your Nervous System program. So let me throw this out there for those of you listening to the podcast. You're like, oh man, this sounds really good. I want more information on this. Go to my website. Actually, you can go to my website. Actually, go to my Facebook page as well, because there's a bunch of information. I honestly, and you may see organically, you may see some ads pop up in Facebook because I am running ads right now for this program.
Great. My algorithm is going to be
so your algorithm might be me just telling you why you need this program.
You've already popped into it.
And take a look there, take a look at the website, reach out with any questions, and we will be back next Monday for Reset Your Nervous System Part 3.
All right.
All righty, folks. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.